Hello everyone and welcome to my kitchen. This is my favorite room in the house because it truly is where the magic happens. And today I'm gonna be making some magic happen in the form of a protein brownie, which I have pretty much every single day, and I've been having this pretty much every single day for like the past 3 years, and I still haven't gotten tired of it. It is a great recipe to keep in place while you're in prep because it gives you your sweet fix, because you can't have anything else that's sweet. You sure as hell can't have a real brownie. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make this prep friendly brownie that I am about to inhale because I am super hungry. I had a massage today, so I got home from that like about an hour ago, and my head is still kind of in the clouds from that session. And on another topic, exciting news, I got in some of my stuff for my cosplay, which I don't think I said this, but Laura Croft won Tomb Raider, which is cool because I've never done this cosplay before, and I think it's going to turn out pretty awesome. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be exciting to do and put together. Anyways, like I said, let's go ahead and put together this brownie. Okay, so things you're gonna need for this recipe. First thing you're gonna need is oat flour. Now, you can buy oat flour in the store, but you don't have to because it's super easy just to take your quick oats or whole oats and put it in a blender and grind it down into oat flour. This is what I do. It works great. Some baking powder, cocoa powder, some canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. This is very important. And egg whites. If you watched my grocery haul video, you will know that this is not the egg whites that I typically buy. I like the yellow egg, the egg beaters, because they're yellow and I like the consistency. These are a little bit like, I don't know, they're not as thick, but my store was out of them this week, so I had to settle for the white ones. Disclaimer, you can use whatever protein powder you currently use, but I cannot vouch for the consistency or how it's gonna cook, because the protein powder that I have always used and will continue to use is just the Animal Whey Brownie Batter. This is an isolate whey. It doesn't cook funny. Sometimes you'll get a protein powder that it gets heated and it gets all like clumpy and gross. This does not do that. It just mixes really well. So Animal Whey Brownie Batter, and it gives you a nice chocolatey brownie taste, which is what we're going for because this is a brownie, right? This next ingredient is not necessary. It's just gonna depend on how sweet you like things. And during prep, I like my stuff pretty sweet. So I'm gonna throw 2 Stevia packs in mine, and that gives a good amount of sweetness. This protein powder is actually pretty sweet on its own, so you might not need it at all if you're like a normal human and have normal taste buds and you don't like your stuff like extra over the top sweet like I do. And if you are lucky, like I am today, you can put some peanut butter on top of your brownie. So peanut butter if it's in your macros. Now, as far as macros go, I'm just gonna do what I do, but this recipe is super easy to customize to whatever macros you have. But I will show you exactly how I weigh it. And the tools that you're gonna need for this recipe are a kitchen scale, a whisk, a bowl, and of course, a brownie murderer. I don't know if you can see that. It actually says Renee's Milkshake Murderer, but today it's gonna be a brownie murderer. All right, oat flour. And when I blend this in the blender, I just pour it straight back in there. So you can see it, it's just oat flour. So I do 30 grams of oat flour, about a tablespoon, and I just eyeball this, about a tablespoon of baking powder, 8 grams of cocoa powder, And I just use the 100% cacao Hershey's cocoa. So 8 grams cocoa powder. And a little bit of this goes a long way and adds a ton of flavor to your brownie. My 2 packets of Stevia. And what's really good in the off season, you can add like chocolate chips into this. Oh, I actually forgot something. I get 50 grams of blueberries, so I'm gonna be throwing that in the mix as well. So, mix this up. That's what it looks like. So you have your dry ingredients all mixed here. Next thing you're gonna add is your pumpkin. So I do 30 grams of pumpkin. And pumpkin is nice because it's not a huge carb contributor, but it does add a lot of moisture to your brownie. Why is moist such a weird word? Moist. Isn't that just a strange word? And 20 grams of your egg whites. And the egg whites kind of help it cook into that kind of bread brownie consistency. And usually I would go to the sink and add water, but I'm just gonna do it from here. So add water until it turns into a thick batter consistency. And honestly, this recipe is really hard to mess up. I've added too much water, not enough water, and it's come out just fine. Guys, I'm terrible at this because I forgot to add in my Animal Whey. I put in my water and I was like, something's not right here. So, 35 grams of Animal Whey, and I should have added this with the other dry ingredients, but I forgot, so you guys just make me nervous. All right, 38, 35 grams of Animal Whey. Oh, that's much better. That's the consistency I want. But like I said, very hard to mess up. See, I messed up and it's turning out just fine. So, making sure I didn't forget anything else. So once everything is nice and mixed, see that? That's about the consistency that you want. You let it sit for about 5 minutes and you let that baking powder do its thing. It's gonna thicken up. And then at that point, if you want to add anything in, I have 50 grams of frozen blueberries that I'm going to add in today. But if you want to add in chocolate chips or walnuts or anything else yummy that's not on my diet, you go ahead and you feel free to do that, because if I was in off season, I definitely would. And then, guilt-free, you get to lick the whisk. The best part. And you let this sit for 5 minutes, okay? Don't forget that. I don't want to see you sticking it straight into the microwave, because the baking powder is not going to have its time to do its thing. Consistency is not going to be right. And then you're going to go around and tell everybody, oh, I watched this recipe online and it sucked. When in fact, it was your fault that you did not let it sit for 5 minutes. Let it sit for 5 minutes. We waited for 5 minutes and let our batter do its thing. It thickened up some. Now we're gonna do our add-ins. So like I said, I have 50 grams of blueberries, and these are so good, the wild blueberries. I get these at Walmart because they're small. Let me get one out so you can see it. Look how little it is. So I really like using these in my brownie instead of the big ones. Straight into the batter. Perfecto. My bloobs. And then we're gonna microwave this for 4 minutes. And now I just sit here impatiently for 4 minutes while my brownie cooks. Have you ever noticed when you're extra hungry, a microwave minute is like the equivalent to like 10 minutes? I just pulled my brownie out of the microwave and it smells so good. Look at it. Just look at it. I almost threw it in my face. All right, so now that your brownie is cooked, you're gonna put your toppings on, and I get 10 grams of peanut butter. And the way that I like to weigh my peanut butter is I put my peanut butter jar directly on the scale. I zero it out, and then I scoop out the 10 grams. I found that doing this is more accurate than just plopping it on to whatever your transport device is. And then when you're done weighing it, there's no guilt in licking the spoon because you already accounted for all of your peanut butter. All right, so plop that on there, lick your finger, lick your spoon. Wait, no, I'm not gonna lick my spoon yet because I'm gonna spread this peanut butter on top of my brownie. Peanut butter melts. It's called food porn for a reason. Looks amazing, it smells amazing. I know it's gonna be amazing. Look at it. And guys, that is it. That is the protein brownie with a peanut butter topping. To some people, the blueberries in it might sound weird, but honestly, you can't even really taste them. It just tastes like chocolate. The blueberries just add extra moisture to the brownie. I'm gonna go ahead and dig into this because I'm super hungry, like now and all the time. But if you make this recipe, let me know how you liked it, or if you tweaked it to make it better, or, you know, just let me know how it was. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I plan on doing more once I have more food in my diet because I actually really love cooking. I love being in the kitchen. It is one of my many, many passions. Next time, guys, I will see you guys then.